Good morning, YouTube. I'll just say it like that. Uh, it's funny. I wake up an hour early to do this mess. I just be sitting there in a daze. But when it's time to get up, then now I'm rushing. I'm rushing, trying to set up. I'm rushing, trying to make sure the mic working. Every day, same thing. Uh, good morning, Mike. Good morning, Hot Pepper Mike. As usual, we this truck stop's a little bit more well lit than the normal one that I'm in, but we'll get it done. I'll get started with the conversation in just a second. I gotta finish my pre-trip. Let's see here. Make sure we do the stuff we're supposed to do, so I don't get in trouble with the DOT. Oh man, I forgot to check on. Oh well. You know what? Hold on 1 second. Oh, 52856. And then my 52856. Continue. What did I just do? Oh, miles. Put the wrong thing in. Let's see. Hold on. 38732. Trailer 52856. I'm getting there. And bam. Tractor. Bam. Now we can. And I gotta do one more thing. Um, let's see something here. Let's see. Hold on 1 second, Mike. I just gotta check one thing. I think I missed my fuel stop. As always, loads, messages. 295. Oh, Elton. I-90. Elton. Okay. Elton, Maryland. Let me write that down. Oh, I forgot I had my camera on. Hold on. I forgot I had my camera on. Yeah, you can tell I ain't got no sense this morning. I gotta write down that my fuel stops in Elton, Maryland. ELKTON. All right. let's get the heck out of Dodge. We're gonna start there. Since you can see that your host has no sense this early in the morning, and what I have to do is get through this parking minefield. When the trucks come in late night, they just park freaking anywhere. There used to be a whole row of truck parking up here, but when they repaved it, they just took it away, and this kind of makes it harder for some of these guys to park. and they run till they got no more hours or whatever, and then here we go again. And this isn't too bad. I've been at some places, boy. You could barely you could barely inch through the parking lot. I mean, I'm doing like 5 miles an hour, and I'm actually making it through. Well, hey, this 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 is truck life. You know, either way you stuck with it. Some of them guys, when they park, they kind of stuck. This guy's in the middle of the damn road. Where do we do that at? But I mean, the middle of the road to get out of here. I mean, that's what I mean. All right, what I want to talk about today, I haven't talked about in a while, is cruising. I'll be on cruising. It's fun anytime, and they're so pleasant. It just makes it enjoyable to listen. And oh well, I was moving through the whole parking lot on neutral. That's crazy. So that whole parking lot's downhill. So I was getting up. Jesus. Okay, some of the things I want to talk about. Um, there's a there- there's a young lady. I mean, she isn't young, but she's from Britain. Has a cruise channel. She's got a good following, and I was just reminded of something, and I just looking at one of the lady's videos, and it was on. She's had COVID again, and this lady, she cruises a lot. I'm not putting it all together, but she just came back from another cruise, and I mean, literally, you got to put two and two together. And one thing I've kind of noticed, and don't get me wrong, I am not, and I repeat, I am not the cleanest person out out here, out in the world, and I'm actually not the nastiest, you know, um, person out here. Well, one thing I noticed is the, I'm gonna say the upbringing or the house training of a lot of these cruisers that join us when we go on these ships. And I mean, I was frustrated one time, and I actually unfollowed. It was another, they had a whole lot of followers. I unfollowed them because I got frustrated with them because it seemed like they was picking on Carnival, and they were saying that they're not going to do Carnival anymore because it's not enforced. To sanitize your hands, and they didn't even bring up the washing of your hands, but just to sanitize your hands. And when I went on the when I went on the celebration, and it was been like almost 2 to 3 years of not cruising, and used to going on 1 to 2 cruises a year. And when I went on there, I was on a mission to look for just in the marketplace, which is like the cafeteria area on the boat where you can eat till you get sick. All of the hand washing stations. And if I remember right, there was either 4 hand washing stations in the front and the back, and I think there was 2 more. Don't 2 more, not including you could went in the bathroom and just you don't have to touch the door. You just wave your hand on the little green thing and wash your hands. And I don't know about you guys, and my family, we rarely sat down to eat. But I was brought up that when you sit down to eat, you wash your hands. And if you can't wash your hands, you put some sanitizer on there. The sanitizer, they say, but don't get rid of the dirt, but it has alcohol in it. Alcohol and aloe vera to get the germs off your hands. But I was brought up that you get out there and you wash your nasty behind hand before you before you eat. Now that's not just only for your benefit because you grabbed your crotch, you stuck your finger in your nose when nobody was looking. You scratch certain areas of your stank behind body. You've been in the pool, you done did this, you done did that, you done slapped somebody else on the back, you done moved some of that stank behind nastiness that's on your hands around already, but you don't wash your hands. Okay? Now if you just happen to come down with a cold and then or you it manifests to COVID, one, you in public. I'm telling you, I had masks on. If I had a cough and there was nobody, if somebody was around, I put my mask on. I coughed into my mask. I'm just saying. I was very attentive of what's going on because I'm also asthmatic, including everything else. So when my asthma acts up, guess what I get? I get a cough that won't stop till I get my asthma under control. It's called, yeah, I call it my asthma cough, and that's another story in itself. But you know, and I noticed because I walked around, I counted all the sanitized stations in the cafeteria, and just in the cafeteria alone. I was gonna make a video, but I said, no, you know what? I'm gonna sound like an a-hole. I think I deleted it. But I went around and I counted all the sanitized stations. I counted all of the wash stations where you no touch. You just put your hand in there and you wash your hands and you dry them off and you go eat. I noticed all the lines. There was lines for everything in that cafeteria every time I went in there. But I promise you, I can't. I had not one time, black, white, Cuban, Mexican, Spanish, you name it, Indian, whatever, Chinese, Asian. I didn't. I noticed no one. I repeat, no one washing they stank behind hands. There was no line to go wash your hands. I noticed nothing, and a lot of times, you go in the bathroom, do a number, number one, you're standing up, and again, I'll notice no one washing their hands. And I think it was on one of the studies, because it's not just me, but the workers on cruise ship. That was one of the things. That was one of the things that they were talking about. They said, "What are the like five things that you hate that cruisers do on cruise ships?" And one of them was not washing your nasty behind hands. Now, say for example, if you do or you coming down with COVID, you're passing it on because you have to grab those spoons and everything that they put out for the food. It's not the coughing over the food or whatever. They got those shields, but you have to grab. So every handle that you grab on a bowl, a couple of hundred people don't already touch that handle. So if you didn't wash your daggone hands, or if you sneezed or coughed into your hand and then go wash your hands or sanitize your hands, you passing something along to the next person. That's one thing I've noticed, and I mean I was looking, and normally I'm just oblivious to everything. I want to just eat, and I just know I'm just really noticing. I'm noticing some kids are eating in line, then they put the fork down, and they put more food on the plate. And half the time the employees are scared to say something because they don't want to get a bad review. You know, but so that was one thing, and one thing I did like, and I wish they had it on the Mardi Gras. I seen it was on the Vista. Yeah, I do remember on the Vista. I don't know if it was on the Horizon. They had these stations that you put your whole hand, your whole your whole arm, your whole forearm into these two slots, and the machine comes on, and it scrubs your from your forearm all the way down to your hand. Hot hot water, so hot soapy water, scrub your hand. You don't have to do nothing. You just pull out and your hands are clean. I ain't noticed any too many people on that. I liked it so much I was playing with it. I kept on putting my hands in there, they pull them out, put them in there, pull them out, put them in there, pull them out. I'm just saying. And my wife's a big stickler, even in the middle of the night. I'll be getting up in the middle of the night, go to the bathroom, and yeah, like I said, I'm not the cleanest guy in the world. I'm heading for the bed. She'll just come out of a deep sleep. Did you wash your hands? I turn around and wash my hands. So I know when I'm going to eat, wash my hands. I'm just saying. That's one of the things that kind of bothered me when I noticed. I said, well, if I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it. But this is why stuff passes along, and that's when it's called the That's why one of the things you got to learn about cruising, it's called the norovirus. That's before COVID and it's still around. And that that puppy will pass. That's why it'll pass around like it do. The norovirus, when you get it, you you're gonna be on that toilet for a minute. Trust me. That's the norovirus. You know. And again, I'm not coming on this morning to complain. We're switching subjects because I do have on my name and love cruising, and I just noticed I'm noticing things. I also noticed that just because you got kids, and I'm a father myself, you have no respect for other adults. One thing is Armstrong Adventures. He hates when I bring it up, but because I went on a rant a few times on his channel that you want, and granted, Carnival cruise ships have an adult only section. I understand that, but if I'm a parent, hold on a sec. If Okay, I'm back. If I'm a parent of a young child and we finally had enough money to get on the cruise and have a good old time, and I notice whirlpools, hot tubs, they're called hot tubs. In Carnival, they're really not hot tubs, they're lukewarm tubs, but it's still the same concept. And I noticed the pool, and my child gets, hey, daddy, I want to go in the pool. Yeah, okay, go in the pool. If I catch your behind in the hot tub, get out that hot tub. This is just my opinion. Get out that hot tub. That's for grown-ups, but not on Carnival. It's probably on the other ones too. There's so many daggone kids in the tub, and one of them you go see the father. He's sitting in there with him, but it's full of kids. Now I remember in the middle of I think it was the Mardi Gras. When we went on the Mardi Gras, I was like, I've had enough of this. I'm going to the adults only section. I went to the adults only section. That puppy was jam packed. Man, they had every bench, everything was full. It was jam packed. So there was no escaping, the kids. And there was no kids there, but that was jam packed. So there was no enjoyment over going heading over there either. And I remember, and trust me, I don't just do this, say this about white folks. I say about my own African American. I'm walking in the Serenity and I see these two young black teenagers. I look, he says, hey, yo, bro, this not your section. And he gave me this sour puss look. And I'm like, and you still ain't no adult. Why you think I'm standing over here? Because I don't want to see y'all behind. I'm just saying. Now, and I sound like a sour puss, and I'm really not. I'm just saying that, in this conversation. You know what I mean? I'm just saying this in this conversation. But, you know, it's some kind type, sometimes you just want to have some type of manners, some type of common sense or something like that. That's all I'm getting at. All I'm actually just saying. But that was one of the things that kind of irked me, you know. Um, Another thing is I don't know, and I just been on. I was on two Carnival cruises back to back. One of the two newer ones, the Carnival Celebration and the Mardi Gras. I noticed, and normally, because this part of the cruise is my wife's favorite. She's anytime anytime we are on a cruise, she is in the middle of that crowd. She's doing the what that down down do your dance, the step, the whatever the heck, the shuffle, the Cupid shuffle, and they don't even do the new one. It's not even new. It's an African. Uh, it's it started in Africa, but it's the same line that they don't even do that one. And I noticed that it was literally the same sail away. It was in what is called on cruise ships. When the ship is finally leaving port, they have a sail away party on the Lido deck, and it's really fun. You act the fool and dance around and do all kind of crazy stuff, and the you know the you know the cruise director is leading the party. Boy, if this is what we here to look for, I'm gonna start sleeping in on the sail away party because they were the last two weren't 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 pleasant. They weren't. They were stupid. And and I don't know why we have to do the YMCA all the time. It's gonna be at the YMCA. Who the heck cares? You on vacation? You want to party? I mean, I can't dance anyway to be African American. I ain't got no daggone beat, but it's still you want to have a good time. I think they came up with it. You got to play these specific songs in this way, and that's it. They even put in on the Mardi Gras, and they just killed the party. Everybody just walked away and left. They did Baby Shark, not even a remix of Baby Shark, like like scratching and what. No, they just did Baby Shark and had some people out there with blown up pink shark uniforms on. I mean, they look like freaking stupid, but I mean, but they it was Baby Shark, and I don't know. Excuse me, I forget I hit the mic. They were doing Baby Shark. Now, another part of that is um, another part I wanted to talk about was I found a new way to get to the Miami cruise ports. Right now you only have two ways to get there, and one is by car, where you can drive all the way down, and then you could park at the port, and hopefully you can find a parking spot, or you can do park and ride, where you reserve it ahead of time, and they have parking garages where you park your car, get your bags. They have a bus or a van that takes you over to the cruise ports. Um, or you can take, uh, you can fly in, and most people suggest that you fly in the day before. You don't want to fly in the same day, because what if your flight's delayed, then you miss your cruise ship. Um, there is another it's called, dang it, I knew I should have wrote it down. I didn't write it down. It's bright. Don't quote me on this, but bright something. It's bright something, where it's actually a bullet train. It goes about. They say the top speed is like 79 miles an hour, and you. I mean, you're honestly, you're not saving money if you get on the train. But what is frustrating, especially because we drive down to Miami, is that extra 3 to 6 hours. I think it's like 6 hours from the initial part of it. They this part of it goes from it's going to be from Orlando all the way down to Miami. So you could fly into Orlando, or you could drive to Orlando, and then you could jump on the train for, I believe it's 2 or 3 hours, and make it all the way down there. And it's what they're saying is the train stops 1.5 miles from the cruise port, and then you can Uber over to the cruise port. And once it starts running, they're going to be running every hour on hour, all day long. You know what I mean? Um, but it kind of takes some of the frustration off of driving. Um, Especially when we go, we'll be driving all night. And the wife will, why are you swerving? Stop this. Don't do it. You're going too fast. You're going too slow. Get out of this lane. Move into that lane. It's frustrating. You know, y'all see that I drive all day long, every day. It's my job. I'm on vacation. I don't want to drive. Well, I mean, if you don't want to go on in the air, you don't want to, if you drive to a certain point, like, I want to try it out. I'm just saying. Again, you're not saving any money. I think it's like $79 one way, and then So you got to pay 79 coming back. But it's the convenience of not being frustrated and not being, um, you know, you know, it's the convenience of it because you're still gonna have to park your car. If you pay for it ahead of time, they say that it's like $7 to park your car in their parking spaces, a parking garage. And but if you don't pay ahead of time, it's 50. I think it's like $15 a day. So it's smart to pay ahead of time. But that's one other way, and it's a brand new that they've constructed. Hopefully, if what I'm understanding, because the reason why if you take Amtrak into Miami, it takes forever because the Amtrak does not own the railroad tracks. Um, they have to they have to give up their spot. They have to give up their spot to if a freight train has to come through. So Amtrak has to wait their turn. That's a lot of times. So south of DC, all the tracks south of DC, Amtrak doesn't own, so they have to wait their turn. So that's why Amtrak is never on time. See, if you notice, you know, all other countries have these bullet trains or whatever. You know, we should have had bullet trains a long time ago, but the lobbyists and they didn't want to invest in the infrastructure and all that other mumbo jumbo. That's why we Amtrak is really not a viable way to go, and in this it's really not, but it's just another way to get to the cruise ports. And I brought it up with my wife. I thought maybe sometime um, this year would just take a weekend and jump on, drive down to Orlando, get on the train, and take it down to Miami and just try it out and see, is it worth it? Is it less stressful? Is it less anything? Because one of the things I learned, um, you have to learn the hard way. And I wanted to try it out. We did the Thanksgiving cruise, and you don't want to do that no daggone more, unless you're flying out, because everybody's going home, and you come back from the cruise, when we came back from the Thanksgiving cruise, everybody was going home from Thanksgiving break. You see what I'm saying? So we sat in all of that traffic for hours and hours and hours, and I wound up getting into a fight with my wife later on that evening because I know she doesn't like to bring her glasses. She doesn't like to wear her daggone glasses. You see what I'm saying? She don't like to do that. But I called myself trying to be Superman, and I went over my driving limit, and I got really tired, and a car cut us off, and she said it was my fault when it wasn't my fault. The car cut us off, and I had to slam on the brake. And she said, "I'll take over," but you can't see in the dark because you don't want to wear your glass. But I ain't trying to start nothing. But I got into trouble, so I'm I'm really not gonna try to do that again. We gonna split up the driving, let her drive during the day, and I'll take the night because I wear my glasses. You know what I mean? But that is uh, one of the things that I learned that if if we're gonna do a holiday cruise where everybody's going to be coming out of that certain state or whatever, and we're going to be sitting in traffic. Maybe we should fly down. You know, Just maybe we should fly down. That would alleviate, sitting in traffic for 8 or 9 hours just trying to get home. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I learned. Another thing I learned is, and this is nothing against folks that are coming in, because I know some cruisers come in and listen. This is nothing against what you guys do, but I learned that I'm not going to do inaugural cruises anymore. And the reason I'm not doing an inaugural cruise, and I'll use one of the employees as an example. Asked one of the servers, hey, how come you're not going on the so and so? Um, and what the person said was, it's going to be a madhouse. They're not going to have everything together. They're not going to have, you know, they're still trying to figure it out. So, in other words, you're in a rush to get on the cruise ship, but you're going to be let down, one, by the food, two, by, the shows. They haven't really got it down packed yet. Three, by, other little things, but it's just going to add up to make you aggravated. And I'm sorry, it's just my opinion that when I'm paying $2,500 to $3,000 for a vacation, I need I need stuff to go right. I need stuff to go right. If I'm paying all this money for this vacation, I need stuff to go right. And I'm gonna give an example. On the celebration, we went to shebang. It the menu wasn't explained correctly. Some things came with noodles, some things didn't. We didn't understand. And then when we got our food, the the food was, you know how when you have something that's overcooked, and this is supposed to be done, it's supposed, and I'm an ex-line cook. I'm an ex-Navy cook. I know when something's been sitting around for a while. I can just look at it and tell you that mess been sitting around. And that food looked like that. It looked like they pre-made it, warmed it up, and they pre-made it, they warmed it up, and then just threw it at us. It was real dark. It was real dark, and I'm like, And then I wanted the ramen noodles. The ramen noodles, it tastes like brown water. It literally tastes like brown water. So when, in turn, 6 months later, we got on the Mardi Gras, and the Mardi Gras has been around for at least 2 to 3 years, because we were supposed to go on one of their early ones. I said, let's try shebang again. I wanted to give them a second chance. And guess what? It was good. You can check my videos. I did a video on it. I said, you know what? It actually tastes like it's, I guess it tastes like whatever it's supposed to taste like, and the go-to place on a carnival is, Guy's Burger Joint. And on the celebration, mm-mm, I wasn't feeling it. 6 months later, on the Mardi Gras, they brought they I they brought me back to the fold. And what am I saying? You got to give these folks that are on their time, you know, to get time to get their groove on. And me and my wife, we say bougie broke, but you know I think I deserve to be a little. I'm understanding to a point, but if I'm giving you 3 grand, I need stuff to be, to go right. You know what I'm saying? I done saved up my money, and I even bring extra money to tip. My room steward, I bring extra money to tip our waiters. But when the boat's new, the service is a little bit below par. It's just a little bit below par. And and again, I'm just ranting right now. Okay, y'all tell me where, and now we all adults. Y'all tell me where. Where do you go where the have you ever been to a comedy club that got little kids in there? I know this is a family cruise, but why, why, why do the kids got to come everywhere? I'm just saying. Now on the celebration, them kids running rampant. They control the top. They control the top deck aft of Guy's Burger Joint at night. I'm just being honest. That's why I was laughing because me and the missus tried to go on a romantic walk and it sounded like something out of Looney Tunes. I'm just telling you what I've seen, and they need time. They need time to get that groove on because I noticed there it was different. It was different when we were on the Mardi Gras. It was different. It was very different, and I was it brought a smile back to my face. I mean, I did have fun on the celebration, but on the Mardi Gras, I was more happier. I was more happier because things were back to um, sorry, man. I don't know why I gotta spit so much when I'm talking in the morning. Things were back to normal, and that's really what you want to get stuff back to normal because right now I'm still investing in Carnival. I'm investing in Carnival. I started buying some stock in Norwegian because they're really low right now. And the reason that I'm buying this stuff is because normally when they get out of this $1 billion debt they are in, that they're billions of dollars in debt, all of the cruise companies are. When they get out of that, their stocks are going to be from $10 back into the 50s and 60s where it normally should be. So if you have a certain amount of shares, and again, I am not an analyst, but I'm just saying when you have that certain amount of shares, you have a good sized nest egg. You see where I'm coming from with this? And I invest in companies that I use and stuff like that. So that's why I invest in Carnival. I don't do Norwegian, but I'm trying to get the missus to go on a different cruise ship. I just want to try a different one. I would like to, as y'all can see, I would like to try Virgin Voyages because it's adults only, and I believe she would love it for the main reason of they have a lot of exercise programs. And when you're walking outside, they have punching bags, they have jump rope, it's made for the younger crowd or the young at heart crowd. You know what I mean? And those are the two things that I'm not a younger person, but I'm a young at heart. At least try to be. Um, but that's something that I look for, something that I'm looking into, and I'm hoping I can get her to try that. Um, I would love to do an Antarctic cruise, but there's no hope. There's no hope that that's going to even happen because per person is I think it's like $6,000 or $7,000 per person. So if we did that, that would be $14,000 for a cruise to the Antarctic. I, I want to do it because what they do is they tie you to a rope or a harness and you jump in that cold behind water. I I would want to try that. I don't know why because it's probably scary as heck. And then one of the things you do is you spend the night out on ice and when one of those um these igloo bags. I wanted to try that. But if I ever had $14,000 I could throw away, I would actually use that to go to the Maldives. That's the place where you can you you you, your room is on stilts on top of water in like a cove or whatever. And I mean, it looks fantastic, but it's really ungodly expensive. You see these people they do these YouTube videos and they don't tell you that their YouTube video was sponsored. But there was one place that they stayed at in the Maldives, and that place on the stilts, the room was I think $20,000 a night. I looked at the price. I said, "Oh heck no," you know, you know. But I mean, it looked nice. But those are the things I'm looking at. I'm looking at a. Um, I would still like to go to the Maldives and maybe do like 3 or 4 nights in a regular hotel and one of them over the water. That's probably the only thing I can afford at this point in time. You know what I mean? That's why we do the cruises because we can see other countries. Even if it's for a short period of time, even though it's for a short period of time, we could I we you can go visit another country. You could see some of the sites, some of the places. It's sad. You know, I wish that these cruise companies would invest more. That to help. They just fix up the port, but they don't you really don't have nothing to look at. Turks, I think they're fixing the ports and they're fixing some of the other stuff. But I would like to have, that's why I don't do, the, you get out and, go on. I really don't like to leave the ports because there's really nothing out there. Not yet. I'm hoping those things will change and so forth and so on. I'm just saying, you know, that's something I'm hoping for. Uh, our next cruise is next July. Going with my son and my sister on the horizon. Really good boat. That's the boat. I'll do a video on that machine that washes your hands because I know they have them on that boat. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Just if you're gonna do stuff like this, you're gonna be around people. Wash your hands, guys. If you're gonna be on a cruise, guys, wash your hands. You know, don't don't be nasty. If you ever decide to get on a cruise, um, look up cruising is. You know, look up cruising is fun anytime. They're they're cruise advisors. What that means is they can sell you a cruise. And they're really good people. They're you know they can tell you, because if you're not used to being on a ship, what is a good cruise advisor good for? What they're good for is to tell you, you know, look for what your needs are. Are you seasick? Can you handle being in the front of the boat? Can you handle being in the back of the boat? Or do you need to be in the middle? Or are you going to be near? Let me find your room that's not near an elevator. Let me find your room that's not under or above the theater or the club, or not next to the stairs, or not near the kids club. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what a good cruise advisor does. They'll set you up, say, oh no, okay, no, you don't need to be there because this will happen and this will happen, and you'll be woken up. You don't need that balcony because it has a very far overhang. You know, you won't be able to see nothing. You don't want to be in that balcony because when you open up your door, all you see is the lifeboat. You know, unless you're okay with that. Some people, well, I save money because I choose this room, I choose that room, I choose the inside room. That's how people save money. But your cruise advisor, if you're not used to looking on there and you can't tell, get your cruise advisor. Cruise advisors will help you out and point you in the right direction of what's going to be right for what you want. Do you see what I'm saying? What's going to be right for what you want. And that's the main objective of getting on a boat. Unless you want to try it yourself, because once you're there, you're there. You know what I mean? And it's very, very enjoyable. One of the things that I suggest, and if you're not a heavy drinker, and if you are a heavy drinker, don't get the drink packs. It ain't worth it. We was on the boat. We was on the boat, and we met this guy at the port. Where we parked the car. Where we parked the car, we met him there. That guy got on the boat, and before nightfall, security was dragging his behind. Security was dragging his behind to his room because he was throwing up all over the place, whatever. He drank, because when you have the drink package, you can drink 15, I think like 15 or 14 drinks or beers, or anybody, even a heavy drinker can't do that. You know, it's not worth it. I've noticed, actually, on the last boat, I was surprised, slowed down. And, I was actually very proud of myself. Yeah, we had some drinks, but it wasn't like we normally do, and I'm good with that. You know what I mean? And it just, guys, just remember, this is my opinion. I'm not ranting and raving. I'm just telling you just some stuff that I noticed on cruise ships and stuff like that. If take what I'm saying with a grain of sand, and I didn't say welcome in. I apologize, but I'm saying it now. Welcome in. I'm driving, as you can see by the pictures. I'm driving an 18 wheeler, so I can't really see who's in there because my phone is on a mount and it's leaning forward. So I apologize for that, but I'm just saying welcome into anybody that's come in, and welcome into anyone that's coming in on the remix. Just know that these are just my opinions, and if it's negative, you know, I apologize if you think it's negative. It's really not. It's just giving an opinion of some of the stuff that I noticed on cruise ships. And there's another, and I'm just giving you another option if you want to say, okay, I don't want to drive all that now. I'll just drive in Orlando, take the train all the way the rest of the way. And again, you're not saving anything, but you can relax, look at, you can look at the scenery on a new train, new tracks, and you can enjoy yourself. But if it's bright something, I gotta look again. I didn't write it down. I apologize. It's on my phone, and for me to look it up, I got to move the phone, and that's kind of don't want me to do that right now. I'm driving, but this is just another, just another morning opinion. Just let you, just let you know that think about it. We That's why. Um, Someone said you got to surround yourself with like-minded people. We cruise with a husband and wife team. They out drive, they 18 wheeler, they do their thing. But I could see they're starting to rub off on me and my wife because they don't just do um, cruises. They do land adventures also, and we've followed them around. We've been invited many times, and we're trying to uh, look for some land, some stuff that we want to do that we can invite them on. You know what I mean? And this is what I've always wanted when I got older and more settled. I just got to catch up on my bills. Y'all all know how that is. Good morning, good morning. Just got to catch up on my bills so I can do more and get more out there. Those are the things. When you're getting older, I just want to visit more places. I want to have more vacations. I work hard. I want to enjoy myself. So with that, and we've hit our time. Yeah, yeah, Mike, I was a little late, but we sure enough gonna shut down at 6 o'clock. Just trying to come up with new and different things than sitting there ranting about relationships that ain't got nothing to do with me anymore. I'm actually in a good relationship. Thank God for that one. Yeah, hello. But I just want to say thank y'all for coming in. Thank y'all for being part of my family. We hit the 600 mark. We hit the 600 friends and family mark, and I'm very happy about that. It's been a long road. These lives have been an experience and a half. I promise you, these lives ain't no joke. For the people that's been doing it for years and all the other ones that we all talk about, thank y'all for being the bridge. Thank y'all for being the gap to welcome me into this family of YouTubers, YouTube creators, and folks. Um, Thank you for allowing me to get on here and rant day in and day out. Thank y'all for allowing me to learn. I think tomorrow, Mike, I'll show you a picture of the plants, the 4 or 5 that survived the Great Purge in the truck. I'll give y'all a picture of them and my bonsai tree that is trying so hard not to die. I was swatting a fly in the truck, and I hit the tree and knocked almost every last leaf on there. There's like 5 leaves left, and you can see the other ones trying to bud, and I almost screamed because I was trying to get this fly. But that bonsai tree is trying its best to come back to life. It's not giving up that easy. Um, Thank you guys for being, hanging in there with me and being great YouTube friends. And just let y'all know y'all greatly appreciate it. And as always, just know that you don't think anybody loves you. Just know that God loves you and I love you too. Y'all have a blessed day. See you tomorrow.